Today I'm going to test over 50 satisfying and impossible looking illusions, each one getting more complex and confusing. Let's go. This is a black and white vortex illusion mat. It creates the illusion of a deep hole, and it looks like if you walk on it you might get sucked in. But it's actually completely flat, so it's safe to walk on. Next is this kinetic motion machine. All you do is place the marble at the top, and it drops down and shoots back up, and then it does it again and again. It can even take on multiple balls at once, and it looks like it goes on forever, which seems impossible, but there's actually a motor hidden inside that keeps it moving. Next, I have these 3 impossible fidget spinners. The first one is a stick figure spinner, but watch what happens when you spin it. The stick figure actually starts running. This next spinner shows a marble racing through a loop, and it actually looks like the marble is rolling. This one is a burning flame spinner, and the flame even looks like it's moving. This illusion is a toy that shoots a string into the air, and somehow it floats. And when you move your hand, it actually follows. This ball looks like it's floating, but once it stops spinning, you can see the ball is actually just attached to the spiral frame. This next illusion is the tense gritty table, and it looks like it's magically holding itself up, but this table can actually hold stuff, like my phone, and even a hot cup of tea. This seems impossible, but if you look closely enough, the entire weight is held up by this string. This metal figure balances in a way that looks like it should fall. Even when I poke him, he won't fall. Let's try spinning him around. Wow, bro's really built different. But the real trick is that these 2 balls balance each other out so he doesn't fall over. This next illusion might actually break your brain. Watch this. So as the spiral illusion moves up and down, it looks like it's infinite, like it never actually ends. If you know how this one works, comment below. This is a rainbow ball, but what makes it so satisfying is when you spin it, you get a super smooth motion with rainbow shimmer. It's simple but extremely satisfying to watch. This wind spinner looks flat and boring, but when you turn it, the shape unwinds to a perfect vertical rainbow wave. It kinda looks like DNA from science class. This looks like 6 circles, but when I turn it around, they magically turn into squares. Then when I flip it back, they're circles again. Both shapes are real, it just depends on how you look at it. I also got a giant circle one that can turn into a square, and a coffee mug version that does the same thing. This illusion looks like a star, but when you move it, it turns into a perfect circle. This looks like 2 hearts, but turn it around, and it becomes 2 circles. For this one, comment what you see. Do you see circles inside squares, or squares inside circles? Let me know in the comments. This next illusion is the letter A, but if I rotate it slightly, it becomes the letter B. And when I turn it back, it's an A again. It's all one solid piece. The shape just lines up differently depending on your angle. This next illusion is a 3D cube that looks like it's floating because the corners don't connect, which looks illegal, but it turns out it's actually made from one single piece connected at different angles. This is the impossible staircase. It connects back to itself in a way that shouldn't be possible, but it turns out it's not connected at all, but it appears to be depending on how you look at it. This is a rectangle that's connected in the middle, which looks confusing, and it kinda looks like a light switch, but if I turn it around, the middle part vanishes. That's because the middle part is hidden behind it, and to see the illusion, you have to look at it from a specific angle. This is a triangle that looks like it's connected in an impossible loop, but it actually only looks this way from this exact spot. Move it even a little, and you can see its true shape. This is the impossible slide, and if I place a ball at the top, it should roll down, right? Nothing happens. But watch what happens when I drop the ball at the bottom of the slide. It defies gravity and rolls up. This looks super confusing and should be impossible. But when I turn it to the side, you can see that the slide is actually flat. Next is this impossible bridge, and look what happens when I push this ball. It stops in the middle. This makes 0 sense until you change the angle you look at it, and you can see the bridge is actually tilted so the ball will always get stuck in the middle. This is the impossible climb. Now see what happens when I drop this ball at the bottom. It actually rolls up, which seems confusing, but just like the other illusions, if you shift your view slightly, the illusion breaks. This next illusion involves a spinning window. Let me know if you can see the illusion. This feels illegal to look at, but it turns out the shape is actually a trapezoid and not a rectangle, so your brain tricks you. Right now, this arrow is pointing to the right, and if I move it over, it should point to the left.
Nope.
Okay, let's try that again.
Nope.
So no matter how many times I turn it, it keeps pointing in the same direction. That's because the arrow is actually shaped weird, and the angle tricks your brain. This looks like a normal Among Us character from behind, but turn it around, and you see the rock's face. What the heck? This is a colorful glass cube that's really satisfying to look at because it changes colors depending on the angle you hold it. It's really only 3 colors, yellow, blue, and pink. These next illusions are basically 3D pictures, and I have 3 of them. The first one is a school hallway, but you don't see the illusion until you look at it in a certain way. Comment below how long it took for you to see the illusion. This next one is an art gallery with pictures hanging on the wall, and this one is a house on the beach with red chairs and clouds. Wow, not gonna lie, these are actually super trippy to look at. Comment below which one was your favorite. This looks like a coffee cup froze mid-spill, but it's actually a 3D printed illusion. The trick is the coffee part is heavy enough to hold up the cup, and it's all one solid piece that messes with your brain. This is a satisfying Octagon fidget toy, and if you put your finger inside, the shape follows it as you move it around. Then when you lift it up, it all comes together in one smooth motion. This next illusion is a black and white pattern, and the black and white shapes mess with your depth, when in reality this illusion is just a flat rectangle. Here's a frog, and I'm gonna grab it. What the? You actually can't, because this is a 3D mirroscope that has mirrors inside the entire thing to bounce light to create a floating illusion. You just drop a small object inside, and somehow it appears to hover above the surface. You'll want to grab it, but your fingers go right through. These solid shapes look like they should never fit through these holes, but watch this. First the cone, then the pyramid, same trick, and finally this one with spiral threads. Still works. It doesn't matter which shape you use, they all pass through like magic, even upside down. This works because they're all 3D printed to line up perfectly. I also got this massive one that looks like a sculpture that's half human and half skull. This looks like a regular face, but when I move the camera, the face actually turns to follow you. Not gonna lie, that's a little creepy, but it turns out the face is actually hollow, but your brain flips it inside out. Here's a ramp, and here's the ball. And watch what happens when I drop the ball at the bottom of the ramp. The ball looks like it's rolling up, but in reality the ramp is tilted and it's just carefully hidden by design. This is an impossible knot, and even when you turn it, it still messes with your brain. It's 3D printed to look wrong at almost every angle. This is an impossible triangle. From this angle, it looks like a perfect impossible loop, and if I turn it around, the illusion falls apart. This globe looks like it's magically floating in midair, which doesn't seem possible, but it actually is levitating. The trick is it's being held by hidden magnets, one on the top and one on the bottom. And now let's test out some easy, satisfying, and impossible looking DIY illusions you could try at home when you're bored. For the first one, I'm going to show you how to make a 3D ladder. Step 1, fold the paper. Step 2, draw the shadows with a gray marker. Step 3, draw the actual ladder with a black marker at an angle. Step 4, draw the ladder steps. Step 5, draw the ladder's shadow steps lined up with the actual ladder. Then just fold it up and look at it from the right angle, and it should look like this. Nice. This is an impossible floating dice, and it looks like a magic trick, but it's just an easy illusion you can make at home. To make it, all you need to do is print out the template, cut down this line, and fold the shape like this. Then you can use a piece of tape to stick to your finger, so it looks like it's floating from this angle. This is the normal dollar bill, but the guy on it looks happy, and now he looks sad. To make this, all you need to do is fold the bill in the middle of the guy's nose, and then again in the opposite direction of each eye, and it should look like this. Tilted down and he's happy, and tilted up and he's sad. This is The Rock, and right now he looks good, but as soon as I turn him around, he looks like this. To make this, all I did was print out a picture of The Rock, and then cut out a copy of his eyes and mouth, and place it upside down on the photo, which makes him look really sus. But then when you turn it around, he looks completely normal. This is an impossible looking triangle made from Lego, and it looks like it's connected together in a loop that goes on forever, but it only looks like that from a certain angle. All you need is a couple Lego pieces and connect them together in a shape like this. This is the rotating snake illusion, and when you look closely at it, the circles appear to start spinning. The motion isn't real, your brain just thinks it is because how the colors are shaped in place. This is a dragon illusion that's always looking at you. No matter where you go, left, right, down, up, it will not stop staring at you. The trick is the face is actually curved inwards, but your brain doesn't know that, so it looks like it turns. You can print this out, fold it at home, and boom, you've got your own dragon at home. And now it's time for the final and coolest impossible optical illusion. These noodles and fork look like they're magically floating in midair, but they're really not. There's actually half an orange hidden under the noodles with 2 chopsticks holding up the fork, but you can only see the noodles in the fork, not the secret setup. Comment below which illusion broke your brain the most. Let me know what video I should make next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.